Hey, how's it going out there? Welcome back to Words Edification with Caleb. Hope everyone's having a great day out there. I just like to start this day off, man, by being grateful, man, and just thanking God, man, for waking me up this morning. I know you guys are thankful too that God woke you up because somebody did not wake up this morning. So, man, I hope everyone's starting their morning off right. We usually record these at Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a couple other things that ran the same time frame, but we want to always come back and give God glory. We want to always come back and put the word out there. We want to always make sure that God is at the forefront of our lives despite anything else that he has us to do. So I thank God, man, for you guys watching this channel. I thank God for everyone just, man, tuning in and tapping in, man, just always here, man, when I need you. So today, man, we're going to have an episode for you. It's not going to be long, but it's just something that I want to share that God has put on my heart. And the original title for this episode was going to be called Kings Will Come to the Brightness of Your Rising. So that's coming out of, Isaiah 60:3. So out of Isaiah 60:3, let's go to the original verse. So the original verse says, nations will come to your light and kings to the brightness of your dawn, or the brightness of your rising. So this is what that means. So the whole time, like, man, and one thing that stood out to me is basically when Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I would draw all men unto myself. Basically saying that he's the light of the world, and the light of the world draws things to itself. You ever see a light outside, man, they have mosquitoes, moths, things that you really don't want to attract still comes to that light. Things that, you know, you want to attract also comes to the light, because it is a beacon. It is something that you cannot, you can go towards, you know what I mean? You can, it's visible, you know what I mean? Especially in a place of darkness. So it's very noticeable, it's very visible, and people will be drawn. If I'm sitting out in the midst of darkness somewhere and, I don't know where I'm going, I see a light, I start to move towards it, because the closer that you move to the light, the more that you will be able to see what's around you. So when you walk with the light, you'll be able to see exactly what's around you, and that's where discernment comes from. The greater your light, the greater the discernment. The greater your light, the greater their discernment, for the simple fact that the light is what shines on darkness. It says that some people walk in darkness and they don't know what makes them to stumble, what makes them to fall. It's because they do not have the light to be able. It's a difference if I'm walking through my house at 2 o'clock in the morning and there's a shoe in the middle of the floor that I don't know that's there. It's completely dark. I trip, I fall, I hurt myself. But if I had the light on, it'd be different. I'll be able to see what's going to make me stumble, going to make me fall, and be able to remove it out of the way. That's what the light is. The light is discernment, it's wisdom, it's understanding, it's enlightenment, to be able to understand things and be able to discern certain situations without having to fall into everything. There's always someone plotting. Some people just plot on you because you got the light. Some people plot on you because they look at your life and they don't understand the turmoil you had to go through, or the process you had to go through to get to where you are, and they just want it. It's too many people out here don't want to go through the process. They like microwave blessings. They want a blessing, a microwave. I was just talking to my daughter the other day, and she was just like, that's going to take too long. She was trying to find out ways to make money, and she was just like, it's going to take too long, especially when we're about to have a kid. It's like, I'm like, sure, if you do the hard stuff now, you can live an easy life later. But and I'm not saying this about her, but it's a lot of individuals, they want it right now. They're just so used to having it right now that, if you see somebody in a position that really doesn't have the emotional intelligence, really doesn't, have the character to be in certain positions, that means that they took the easy route. They jumped on the devil's path. They took the quick route, but when you're doing something for God, people may say, man, I had a lot of people mock me and say, oh, you're building this, and where's God, and you're doing this, and where is God? And, and all these things, you know what I mean? They may have had the money at the moment and I didn't, but I was still building. I was still building, and they had certain resources that I didn't have. So, I was always mocked, you know what I mean, doing what God called me to do. God called me to plant businesses and to create opportunities for employment, to bring up certain economic levels in third world countries and give people opportunities to provide for their family through the gift of God that's within me. And people mocked me the whole ride, before people could see the vision. They were laughing at me. Oh man, who did this guy think he is? You know what I mean? He think he's just gonna do this and do that. You cannot be bound by the systems of this world that's trying to keep you down and keep you controlled. It's and a lot of people that are in these positions, they want to control you, but they can't even control their own life. They're in a high rank position in the government and certain other places. They want to control people that they're intimidated by, but they can't even control their wife's mouth. You know what I mean? The wife is talking to them crazy. The kids are on drugs and talking to them crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you wanna come together with a group and try to control in the whole neighborhood, or you want to try to use witchcraft to control a person, or paying people to attack. You will put that much energy and effort towards trying to destroy somebody, but you won't put that much energy and effort towards trying to save your marriage and try to fix your household. You never at home with your kid. You never taking the time out to be a good father or be a good mother, but you can put all your time, energy, and attention towards trying to use your position and your resources to destroy somebody else. But you're failing in the areas that really truly do matter. You can't even be a good leadership of your home, but you can lead a group of people to start lies and smear campaigns to try to destroy somebody that you're jealous of. You are putting your time, energy, and attention on the wrong things. So what I'm saying is this: people will come to the brightness of your rising. It just takes time. While God has you in what it seems like obscurity, it seems like nobody's watching what I'm doing. It doesn't matter, man. You keep grinding. You know what I mean? If God, when the time is right, no one can stop it. You know what I mean? And you can read certain stories in the Bible, and you can understand that when someone is being moved into a different position, there's always going to be some type of opposition. When the king wanted to promote Daniel, you know what I mean? Some people came around, and tried to and lied on them, and came up with some false laws. So sometimes that lets you know that some people are so threatened by you, they'll even put a law into effect that can try to get you locked up or something like that, just for the simple fact that they're intimidated. It will create an entire law. So these guys went to the king, manipulated the king with some lies, and that's how the world works. The world works that somebody feels threatened by you. They may be in a position of power. They may be close to the king or close to someone in authority, whether they went to Harvard with them or went to school with them or went to the same police academy or program, and then they know that person that's in that position. So what they do is they come up with some false allegations and then take it to the person that they know or that they're connected to, because these guys were mad at Daniel, but they had a connection with the king, the person that was in authority. And so they came up with this elaborate scheme and came up with these false laws and false documentations and things like that, just to get him destroyed when he was completely innocent. So that lets you know, back then in the Bible, people were doing those things. People are going to be doing the same things now. Don't you know that Joseph's brothers threw him in a pit? He was telling them, man, one day, man, I'm gonna rule in this area. Or God said, I seen like my family bowing down to me. They got so jealous that they tried to kill their own brother. Threw him in the pit, lied and said he was dead, lied about. So that lets you know that people will intentionally do things to you and then lie and try to make it seem like, oh, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know this and we don't know that. But they're not holding themselves accountable for not being able to control their emotions when they see greatness in someone else. They want to be the one that makes all the money. They want to be the one that has all the friends. They want to be the one that has all the power and the influence. Life doesn't work like that. I was not built to influence everybody. There's a certain group and a certain collective of people that my purpose is specifically tailored to. I'm not supposed to influence everybody. I'm not supposed to be liked by everybody. But that lets you know, these stories in the Bible let you know that all of these things are possible. All these things are going to happen. You know what I mean? When Jesus wanted to deliver people and set people free, don't you know that the enemy used people to accuse him? And who did he use? Religious people. So that lets you know there's people in governmental positions that will attack you for being of God. And then there's religious people that will attack you. So, you know what I mean? The people in the government, attacked Daniel, got him thrown, made up some laws, got him thrown into the lion's den. Then that lets you know that family will attack you. You know what I mean? Joseph's brothers got jealous of him and threw him into a den, wanted to kill him. And then he lets you know that religious people attack you. If you say that you know God, people are religious. People go to all these religious cults and all these religions, and they have all these rules, and they're walking around and trying to act like, okay, I fast 3 times a day, that makes me perfect. No, your heart is still not right. You know what I mean? You don't have a pure heart. You know what I mean? If someone says something to you, you got a spirit of anger to the point where you'll kill somebody. You're easily jealous. Yeah, you may pray 4 times a day, but you don't know how to control your anger. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but make sure that your heart is pure towards God. You know what I mean? So you can do all that religious stuff. I can read the Bible 16 times a day. I can be fake and walking around and stressing myself out. You know what I mean? And acting like I'm trying to do, man, I'm not doing all that. All I'm saying is the grace of God is available. I make sure that my heart is right towards God and right towards people. I try not to, allow certain things to settle and take root into my heart. And I just be who God called me to be and love God to the best of my ability. And that's not making excuses to give me yourself a license, but just depend on the grace and mercy of God. Don't be trying to sit around here and act all perfect and be all fake. Now, I'm not saying that some people were put on this earth and their purpose and plan is to be in the church and to be in the church. But a lot of people that are really chosen by God, a lot of people that carry the glory of God, the light of God, the power of God, they're not in the church. They're not in these religious churches and in these, they're not in the church. The children of God that have been blessed with power, the energy signature, they're not stuck in a church somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They're not. So they're probably somewhere in isolation on their journey with God by themselves. They probably aren't surrounded by a whole group of friends. The real children of God have been, put in isolation until the time is right for them to be revealed into the world. So, you know what I mean? It's a training ground. So not everybody that really houses the anointing of God, the power of God, has this ancient energy signature. All of those, you won't find them 9 times out of 10. You won't find them sitting in the church pew or operating in the church. They are outside the church like Jesus was. Jesus, he went to the church to preach and to tell people about, having a connection with the source of all things, God. But he wasn't in the church. You know what I mean? He wasn't in the church wearing the church robes and, trying to be a Pharisee and trying to be the bishop and the deacon and all that of the church. No, he's like, man, God, wherever you send me to spread the word, I'm spread the word. But he wasn't in it. Jesus wasn't in the church. And then if Christ dwells in us, the real chosen children of God that have a connection with God and carry a anointing and an ancient energy signature, they're not going to be stuck in some church somewhere. You know what I mean? Where people are using their position and their title to try to control their anointing and try to control their gifts. Okay, yeah, you got a person that's a pastor of a house. He sees that God is working through you. He starts to get jealous, and then he wants to tell you, well, you can't do children's class on Wednesday. I'm gonna have somebody else do it just because he's jealous, and then he uses his title. Well, this is my church. This is my church. I'm the one that God put over this house, and so they start using that title and start using that, masking that up as jealousy. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it seem like, you know what I mean, because they feel threatened without you even having to do anything. So a lot of people who really have the anointing of God, they're not in church. Because the church has become something different, you know what I mean, full of titles and everything else. So, but this word says that kings will come to the brightness of your rising. That lets you know there's going to be a point in time that God is going to put you in position. A lot of people that already know that they're supposed to be in a place of greatness. A lot of people that knows that they're supposed to be, you know what I mean, using their gifts on their everyday job. So not everybody is supposed to be in the spotlight. God has his own spotlight and puts his children in different places. You might, the justice system may be corrupt, but there might be a couple people that know who God is and has a conscience, and then they can be lenient with people. You know what I'm saying? So it's always somebody somewhere that's in a position that's of light, but being that light will get you attacked. You will draw people in that love you and see your healing energy and your frequency, and then you would draw people in that would be jealous of you. So you know what I mean? So it's all a part of the plan. You can't have the power and the grace and the mercy and all these things. You can't have all those things without the bad side, without the attacks, the persecution, the crucifixion. Jesus says, "I'll be lifted up, I'll draw men to myself." So that lets you know right there, you need to be crucified. The world needs to crucify you. People need to slander you. People need to lie on you. People need to, persecute you. And that's what that's what solidifies you or stamps you as a real woman, a child of God. Because if somebody thought, "Oh man, this joker's fake, he's a nobody," I'm gonna tell you what, nobody's messing with nobodies. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody are ganging up and they talking crap and saying, "Oh, this person is nobody," they mocking you and laughing you. If you have to take all your time out of your life and out of your day to try to create something to try to make someone else feel down, if they're nobody, leave them alone. If they're never going to make it in life, leave them alone. It's obviously something in you that lets you know that there's something different about this person. So I'm going to mock them and try to make them feel so I can make myself feel better. Nobody's out here messing with nobodies. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to know that. So if you're under any persecution for being yourself and being authentic, you know what I mean, go through it. You know what I mean? It's too many people that's the same. You know what I mean? Everybody is traded in their authenticity just to be liked by people. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be singled out. No one has the power or the strength to be who they were called to be. A lot of people don't. You know what I mean? They rather just sit back and get along with everybody, take the easy route. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, you can be cool with people. People do not care about you. You know what I mean? You can trade in your gifts, trade in your destiny, sell your soul. And I'm gonna tell you what, the devil don't care about you, and the people that you're around, y'all can be doing the same practices. Y'all can act like everything's cool, but these people do not care about you. If somebody would for no reason destroy somebody else, don't think that they won't destroy you. Don't think that you cool because you all in a group or all in a cult. As soon as something go bad and hit the fan, everybody's going to be blaming everybody and everybody's going to be attacking everybody. So you don't want to be in that. You want to be to the point that I'd rather go through the hard things and being who God called me to be and not switching up and compromising on what I stand for. And I would rather face death believing in something and then living a good life in cowardice and just to be liked and, being fake and wearing masks just to be accepted by people. So I'd rather die for something. You know what I'm saying? So, but kings will come to the brightness of your rising. The light is basically the influence of God in a dark situation, and there will come a time that when God does promote you, nothing can stop it. Nothing stopped Daniel from getting out of that lion's den. Nothing stopped Nehemiah from building Israel back up, building the walls of Jerusalem back up. No one stopped Joseph from, becoming basically Pharaoh over Egypt. No one stopped David from becoming king, even though the prior king chased him down and hunted him down like a dog. Everything that God's spoken that would happen in the lives of those people, it happened regardless of the turmoil and the persecution they went through. So some things you just can't stop. They've already been written. And before some jealous person or some envious or angry person for no reason, God is not going to let just some person that's ruled by their emotions make him look like a fool. So when God speaks something, or when God's hand is on somebody's life, that's basically somebody saying that I don't care what God said, I'm gonna make sure it don't happen. And God is saying, don't you ever challenge me. When I spoke something over somebody's life, it's going to happen for the simple fact because my name is on the line, not because they're perfect, and not because they're good, and not because it has nothing to do. Whatever's going on in my life, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm just telling somebody the other day, I'm saying, man, I don't even have control over my own life. You know how somebody would, if somebody was doing evil and they conjuring up spirits, or they part of some type of cult or witchcraft practice group, 9 times out of 10, they don't have control over their own life. They dealing with these spirits. They channeling different spirits. These spirits are walking with them. They're doing, people that do voodoo. They don't have control over their life, because anytime that spirit wants them to, be angry, or anytime that they house that spirit wants them to be jealous or wants them to attack somebody, they have to do it. You know what I mean? Or they'll be tortured by those same spirits. So the thing is this. That's the same way with me. I can't do whatever I want to do because the Spirit of God lives in me. Sometimes I do things, but there's certain parameters. There's certain parameters, certain things that I don't even control my own life. So what it looks like somebody else from the government or some CIA group, or from the FBI trying to use energetic weapons and MK Ultra to try to control somebody, try to keep you bound into the confines of the system. You sure is not going to be able to control me. I don't even control my own life. God controls my life. So it can't be two controllers. It's either God is going to do his thing, or you can take me off the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be controlled and bogged down and oppressed, just for the simple fact that they want to keep a system together. Like, no, you can't do people like that. You gotta let people be who they were called to be. So, now it's coming to a point that the system is breaking down. The system, people are waking up. People are getting online. There's a lot of people that's waking up. A lot of people becoming conscious. A lot of people it's like, something's not right. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are waking up, and then you have the people who are asleep, and you have people placed in position and are employed to make sure they keep people asleep. That's all that is. You know what I mean? That's all that, that witchcraft is. They basically turned their back on the human race and try to keep people separated from the source and becoming who they were meant to be, for the simple fact just to get paid paper or money or whatever they want to get paid. These people are put in place to keep people asleep. You know what I mean? They feel like, oh, I'm enlightened because I know how to do spells. I'm enlightened because I know certain things that I don't want other people to know. So they feel like they're in some secret group of enlightenment. When, all this stuff is already out there. People are already getting already online. You know what I mean? They're already becoming conscious. So many people are going to wake up so fast. So many people are going to wake up so fast that I'm gonna tell you what, they have already started to develop weapons where they can do mass energetic waves over certain neighborhoods. It's already been tested over certain places. So you know what I mean? It's like certain energetic waves over neighborhoods to keep people, dumbed down, or to keep that. Like, you can get on the subway train, and on the subway train, in the ventilation system, there's a certain neurogen that's in the ventilation system that keeps the energy down, that keeps people controlled. Even on the subway, even when you walk into a library, even when you walk into certain public spaces, they have certain things put in the ventilation system to keep people where they can be controlled, or where they can be contained, where their energy is low. It can be siphoned. So all these things are already, past, already supposed to be things that you must have in certain products in order for it to pass inspection. So without that certain thing, they won't pass inspection. I don't care if it's an invention or I don't care what it is. There's certain things that you have to do, and certain requirements you have to make, especially dealing with things like that. So these things have been going on for generations. So, but man, I just want to, let you guys know, man, I love you, man. No one ever told you they love you. I love you. Just keep going, man. Kings and people of influence will see when God brings you up to a place that he's supposed to bring you up to, and you will be blessed. You will be blessed, and you will be a blessing to this earth. So I'll see you guys back here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.